right, welcome to Pep Talk. Let me get going with this segment right here. I'll accomplish what I'm trying to get done right here. First, before I get to the nuts and bolts, what I had this segment for, I just want to say everybody have a safe and very mind-boggling as far as a thought process. New Year's Eve going into the New Year's. I understand that it's cliche that everybody says that they want to do certain things and become a new person, and a lot of times it starts off that way when the New Year finally come in. But sometimes we just don't have the wherewithal, the strong enough ambition to continue to go on with what we set out to do before the New Year came in. So I'm hoping that that everybody accomplishes whatever they want to accomplish for next year. But I'm hoping that whatever it is that you hope to accomplish, I'm hoping that you just want to be a better person, just becoming a better person, whether it's you learning something, learning a lesson, holding yourself accountable. And that's funny that I use that word because that's what we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. But pretty much that's it. So I'm seriously sending out the best wishes and prayers and thoughts to everybody going into the new year, hoping that you are thinking of positive things, because this is not about negativity. I'm not about negativity. I don't like to get into the negative stuff. I like to take a situation, even if it is negative, and see the positive things in it and how you can turn it around and how you can make it the best that it can be for that time being. So it's always going to be about that. Now, I'm not, my segment or my show or whatever may be the case is going to be real. So it's not just going to be pie in the sky. Positivity without no real, no grunt work that needs to be done or whatever things that are going on that has to be accomplished to move to the next steps or whatever. But I'll be very real about that and very honest about that. But at the same time, I'm just a positive person. Like when the doctor used to come in and say good and bad news, I say give me the bad news first, because I don't want to hear the bad news last. Because if I can hear the bad news first and the good news last, there's something I can do about it. It seems, even though there still is, when you hear bad news last, it's like that's the lasting impression on your mind. And I never wanted it to be like that, because I always wanted to find a way to come to some of a resolution or get something accomplished or solve just a second. So as far as that's how I like to look at things and how I like to go about them, because I'm a big believer in manifesting, and you can't manifest anything that is worthwhile, anything that you really want in your life, thinking from a negative mindset or having no faith or not believing that things can actually happen. So I'm a big believer in positivity, and let's dive into what Pep Talk is really about. Pep Talk is something that I just created. Something is gonna take on its own face. It's gonna start off as what it is, a pep talk. I'm gonna pick certain things to talk about. Maybe it's something that's going around that's being talked about, but if it's something negative or something gossipy, I'm not gonna touch that. That's not my stilo, not my style. There's a whole lot of other people that can dive into that, and more power to them. I know it's very entertaining, but I'm more looking about results and more about having an impact on somebody's life, with somebody that might be going through dire straits and may not be able or may not know how to talk to somebody about it or know where to go. So I'm hoping that I'm able to speak on certain things where I can create a sequence where a light bulb pops off and maybe it can get feet moving in the right direction to help somebody be a better version of themselves. That's what it's been about for a while now. I have taken on different angles in this process. Started off with some form of Bible study. Then I did a lot of different reels, and I'm still going to be dipping and diving with reels, but more, I'm going to try to come more with pep talk and kind of use pep talk as a launching pad to dive into that and to like promote that. As far as that with my reels, that's what I want to accomplish with that. But I have a lot of things that I want to dive into. But if you got a lot of things, you get stuck on all these things, and then you don't focus on nailing things down. So I'm just trying to dive into something. And like I said, this gonna take on a life of its own and legal direction. Is I don't have any boundaries on this. As far as my content, as far as what is always included. I just know I just want to use certain topics, speak on positivity of them, speak from experience, and hopefully it could be helpful to someone out there, even if it's one or many or whatever may be the case. But excuse me, I'm sure it's gonna be. It's a number of things. I got so many things that I want to try to do, and I know I'm very patient when it comes to certain things, but at the same time, I started feeling a little stagnant, even though I have been doing some things. Started feeling stagnant. I just want to go into 2025 already pushing something out there, and don't wait till after 2025. So once I get in, I could start going with my feet hitting the ground already. So that's it. That was the thought process behind this, and making 2024. 2024 was a very eye-opening year. I won't call 2024, it wasn't a bad year, because maybe when I went into 2024, I would say it was bad if I still had the same mindset. But of course, God has brought my mind, everything about me, my spirit, everything has done a full 360. And now I'm able to look at 2024 as a valuable lesson. And a second chance at having a very successful and prosperous life in all facets of life, love, finances, family, as far as building my own family, and that type of thinking. Very happy with the way I'm ending 2024 as far as my mindset, because I know going into this year, I was not nowhere near where I am now. I say that much. I had a lot of things going on. I was feeling quite alone. Besides the presence of God, I was feeling quite alone. Even now, I don't really, I guess you could say from a physical standpoint, I'm still alone, but I don't look at it like that. Now it's different because my mindset is different. The way I look at life, everything, all that's different. How I feel as though that I need to pour into myself, and I don't feel bad about, and I don't feel lonely. I'm actually enjoying my time to myself, and because of some of the things that I've been through, it's very safe, very as far as me pouring into myself, because a lot of people look at love and different things as a game, and I'm just way past that. I've outgrew that. If I'm going to be going into something like that, it's going to be for something very serious. Somebody going to have to be serious with me. Nobody ain't got to be perfect, but you're going to have to like be serious and be for real. I'm not with no games. Any sign of a game, of some type of foolishness, I'm gone. I'm not even any red flag. That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm out of there. Just not my cup of tea, not my type of party. But anyway, I don't want to get all off topic, because it looks like I've already done. I wanted to make this shorter, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer, but not too long, but longer than what I thought that it was going to be going into it. Anyway, let me just give a synopsis of a pep talk real quick, and then I'll go into the topic, get through it, give some encouragement as far as the topic, and then we'll get up out of here for the segment with pep talk on today. Also, I will be going live tonight, just to, you know, I think I went live last year too. After it was, I had felt, because last year I fell asleep. I didn't wake up till after New Year came in. I'll probably go live tonight, and maybe in a little bit or something, and just enjoy the presence of the year. Because, like I said, even though I went through some things this year, my mindset and where I'm at now, I feel good. And excuse me, I feel much better in my process than where I was, way better than where I was going into the year. So thank God for keeping me from January to December of this year, and looking forward to 2025. I think 2025 is going to be a very great year for a lot of reasons in my life, and I'm hoping it is for a lot of other people, because that's just how I roll. Pep talk, okay. Pep talk is something like a pep talk. Anybody know what a pep talk is? It's something that you are inspiring someone on whatever it is that they, whether it's a sport, whether it's a life situation, whether it's them in a grieving process. Pep talk is like a boost of encouragement, and I naturally do that. I do that for people. Just naturally do that. Even when I was in my younger years, I've always spoke at funerals, and I didn't understand why. Back then, when I was doing it, I just always had a feel to do it. And now I understand more, obviously, by getting closer to God and understanding spirituality and understanding different things in the spirit realm. I understand now why it was that. Is because I have a gift of lifting people in states of darkness when they're going through times and they need an aptly word, something timely to boost their spirits, to boost their confidence. And I naturally do that. I've done that for a lot of people. I don't need to name names. I don't need to go and say how many people it was, but I've got a knack for doing that. So that's why it was very easy to kind of like mold into this as far as pep talk. And that's all it's going to be. This is going to be something that I just flow with. I'm going to be organic with this and just let this take on a life of its own. But it's going to start off in, picking a topic, a subject, whatever it may be, and discuss that, talk about that, and let that be that. And then it'll take on, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a set schedule for it. Like I said, I'm also going to try to incorporate reels. I'm working on some other stuff too to try to get like some branding things, as far as like the logo type things, as far as like the social media platforms. Also, I'm working on getting my the logo how I want it done, so I can have something fun to put on there. Also, maybe even a small web page. But those are just some different things that I'm trying to get into, and I'm trying to just push myself to start doing it, because, man, I got a lot of different things that I could really be trying to do, and it's really just me just like pushing forward on some of it. So I'm being accountable, which is what we finna dive into. Accountable to myself to start taking care of these things. Start, going out there and doing something about it. But what I want to talk about today is accountability. For me, accountability is something I think that doesn't get enough. People don't talk about it enough. I really believe that accountability, or the void of accountability not being there, is the reason for marriages going to divorces. It's the reason for families breaking up, and not getting back together, not seeing eye to eye. It's a reason for politics, things in government. You can go into any field, place, form of life, whatever may be the case. But I think the void or the that there isn't accountability in these things, that they break down and they fall apart. Because let's get a definition of accountability before I go. So the quality or state of being accountable, especially an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. So pretty much the state of taking responsibility for something. And as far as in relationships, I would say that that's a very lost art, because to a lot of people, it's easier to just move on to a new situation than to take responsibility for something that was done wrong, or to fix something that maybe they had a hand in dismantling. So, as relationship-wise, you can see with the loss of accountability not being there, how they break down. Same thing with family. People, sometimes your family are your, just how they can be supposedly your best cheerleaders or best supporters, they can also be your worst enemies, or people who don't want to see you succeed, who have jealousy or envy in their hearts for you, or whatever may be the case. Without with accountability missing, there's no checks and balance. Because if I'm not going to be responsible for something I do, why should another person be responsible for something they do? And then we have chaos, toxicity, dysfunction, and you know how that goes. There's no trust, there's no foundation, there's no structure. So, families depart from there. But I'm going to get into this because I said I wasn't going to be long, and I'm not. What I really want to focus on is self-accountability. Because, there's accountability you can go into with family, with relationships, friends, with jobs, with, like I said, politics, government, all that. But with self-accountability comes when you have to be responsible and accountable for you. And what I'm going to say is going to sound like, man, that's crazy, that's harsh, but it's not really harsh. When someone hurts you, harms you, abuses you, those things, whether it be rape, whether it be physical abuse, whether it be sexual assault, whether it be verbal abuse, whatever it may be the case, and that person chooses not to acknowledge or take accountability for what it is that they did, you still have to be accountable. And the reason why I say you still have to be accountable, because at the end of the day, it's your life. So either you're going to allow somebody else to dictate how your life is going to go, and what stage or place that you're going to stay in because of somebody else, and you going to, and I don't want to mean like it's cut and dry, like you just gotta just pick up and do it right away. Because obviously, if something like traumatic happens to somebody, you need a time of healing or something. But at some point, we must take accountability about our lives and the path and the directions that we want to lead our lives in. Because we can't keep making excuses about somebody else, because then we're giving our power away and we're not being accountable to ourselves. And if we can't be accountable to ourselves, who is going to be accountable to us? If you don't love yourself, if you don't treat yourself with the utmost respect, why should anybody else? Why are they? So there's something to ponder, something to think about, because self-accountability is very hard, especially when you feel like you've been done wrong and the perpetrators are not taking accountability or acknowledging that something was even done wrong. So now you have to forgive and heal despite that. And that's very hard. That's something that I've had to do from experience. That's a very hard thing. And I had to do it alone. All I had was God. The presence of God. That's it. I had like maybe, you know, two people who I could talk to a little bit, but not a whole lot. But it was pretty much just me and God working through things that I knew had happened. But, you know, you can't make people be sorry or apologize to you about something that was done to you. At some point, you got to accept what happened, heal from it, let all those emotions come over you. Feel all the emotions, feel the anger, feel the resentment, bitterness, all that. Feel it, because it's going to come. But as you're feeling it, release it. And let God know. Speak to God, let God know, you know, that He knows your heart. So if you're releasing it to Him, even if you're still having some issues because of something that you went through, it's in His hands. And eventually it's going to continue to get better. When we start to hold on to it and be resentful and want revenge and that type of thing like that, when we are pretty much pushing God away and telling Him that we know the answer is better than He does. So, you know, it's a process and it's different for everybody, and everybody does it in a different way. Some people don't do it at all. They just go the other way. But I'm choosing to do that, and I'm going to choose to do that because I know that it's the winning route. You're going to end up happier, healthier, wealthier, and everything else. Sometimes you just got to let things go, as hard as they might be. It's as angry as you might get about the situation. You just got to let it go. You know, don't need no validation or acceptance from anybody. You just got something that you got to do for yourself, because forgiveness and you being self-accountable is for you anyway. It's not for the other person. It's for you at the end of the day. That's the difference between being a victor and not a victim, because you're taking the ownership and accountability of the situation for yourself. So that makes you a victor over it. Now, if you allow the situation and that person to reign dominion over you, now you are still a victim. And that's not a good place to be in. But we all have been there at one point. Someone's done something to us and we felt that they misused us or abused us or so on. But at some point, we got to get past that, deal with it, heal with it, and become better for it. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to dive into about accountability. I think it's a lost art in our society, in our homes, families, relationships, and it's something that that I'm going to be looking for going forward with relationships, with, you know, just dealing with people, you know, on a serious level in general. Because if a person is not accountable, it's only a matter of time before it rears its ugly head and you come out on the losing end because of that, because they won't take ownership or be responsible for something. So something that's very important, at least to me it is. So I thank you. This was the first segment. Kind of went on and off, you know, trying to explain things and stuff like that. But accountability, I think is very important. And it's really just about being honest with yourself. At the end of the day, if you're being honest with yourself, you know when you may have done something that isn't right or you made a mistake. And all accountability is saying, taking ownership. You know what? I was wrong for doing that. I'll watch myself from now on. I won't, you know what I'm saying? That's being accountable. And it's okay. Everybody act like it's like the worst thing on earth to apologize or be accountable for something that may have not worked out right or didn't go the right way, or you made a mistake, or you did something you shouldn't have did and you're sorry for it. It's okay. It's not the worst thing on earth. So y'all have a very happy New Year. I'm gonna find my song to get up out of here. Trying to keep things consistent. Once again, it's Pep Talk, TJE, life coach. We're gonna rock with this. I see y'all later.